Good morning. It's Tuesday, and that means we're here at Writers Chat, ready to bring you another great episode of some kind of issue that has to do with writing. And there I just got lost in my sentence. Sorry.
We are where craft connects community.
I tried to say it and I couldn't remember exactly how it went. So, yes, we have a tagline where craft connects community. Did I say it right? I leave
Mhm.
out a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Isn't that great? So that that was a long time coming and we just need to start saying it every time. Anyway, starting over. Hi everybody. Welcome to Writers Chat. We're so glad that you're here with us. My name is Johnny Alexander. I'm joined by Melissa Stroh, Brandy Bro, and Norma Poor, my co-host, but also we've got people staying on today. So David is with us and Rachel is with us, and then there's Kathryn. And I'm going to turn it over to Melissa because she's going to introduce Kathryn, who is our special guest today.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Writer's Chat. For many of our regular members, Kathryn needs no introduction. She's one of our very special regulars here. But there, you might be new to Writer's Chat. Maybe you're here with us for the first time, or maybe you're watching this replay for the first time on YouTube, on our Writer's Chat YouTube channel. And so I'm going to give you a little introduction to Kathryn Lang, just so you can get to know her before she shares with us today about a real fun topic that is going to be very beneficial to writers everywhere. So, for those who are new here, Kathryn Lang is a hopesmith, untangling the chaos that chokes faith-focused hearts so they can step boldly into a God-fulfilled life. She's been there, she sees you, and she knows you can find your way forward. From juggling writing, caregiving, and homeschooling to weathering literal storms, yes, a tornado hit her house, and her husband insists that you know it happened twice. Kathryn has learned this: hope must lead the way, flexibility is key, and above all, the journey must be enjoyed. And so we're excited to have Kathryn back with us again to share about creating video shorts. And I'm going to just let you take it away, Kathryn.
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for having me back. I mean, I always worry after I speak that they'll never speak to me again. So when you invite me back, I know at least I did something right. At least we enjoyed the journey a little bit. If you're not laughing, if you're not having a good time, then change rides. Really, seriously, change rides. I mentioned when I was here talking about the whiteboard of world domination that I was starting to do shorts and seeing how I was getting traction with that. And I've been doing that on YouTube. And I did it for about a month and broke the rules and didn't continue. It takes usually anywhere from 3 to 6 months to see if what you're doing is going to be beneficial to you. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I had other things that happened. Some of you may know that I have a neighbor who randomly shows up, and she was randomly showing up when I was trying to record. And I was doing a podcast the other day. It took me 15 takes because I'd get halfway through the podcast and she'd show up. And it's not like very gentle, "Hey, are you home?" She beats on the door until I answer. So it's not like you can, and I put a sign up and I'm pretty sure the sign said keep knocking because she doesn't speak English. So it was written in her language and she just kept knocking. And then when I pointed the sign, she went, "Oh, yes, sign." So the thing is, that's where flexibility comes in. I decided to try live video, live shorts. And I think I like live even better. When you think about a recorded podcast or I mean, a recorded show, you always think of something that has been produced. And all the women are camera ready. You have on your lipstick, you have your hair brushed, you have the right outfit, you have the right lighting. So some of y'all already mentioned lighting. And in 2020, when the world flipped upside down for everybody went to Zoom meeting. News was Zoom meetings. We were seeing people's bathrooms and kitchens and living
Your
rooms
underwear.
and if you stood up and remember it was a big deal when that kid came in during his for instance when the little toddler came in while his dad was doing the national broadcast. I don't know if y'all remember, it was huge news. And now it's like, well, whatever, my cat crossed and it typed 14 letters and y'all just ignore it. And or here, look at my cat and look at my dog and look at my kids. And it all changed. But for some reason, we still are in this mindset that it has to be perfect and produced. Even if we're doing shorts, even if we're doing a podcast, it doesn't matter what we're doing. And I'm here to challenge you. And I got this challenge last week. Just do it. So I did my first live from my phone. Never, ever, ever have I done a live from a phone, ever. All of my lives, any live streams I did from this camera that I have, and it's just a Logitech camera. It's a Logitech 922, because I know some of you asked me about my equipment and things like that, and I'm happy to answer those questions. But I just turned my phone on, and I had to download the app. I've never downloaded the Facebook app. But you can't go live without the Facebook app. So you have to download the app. I downloaded the app and I went live. And I've had 500 views of that video. And it's been, I think it was Friday that I did it. Y'all, that's huge. So Saturday, because I knew I was coming in here with y'all, I was like, well, I'm going to try some different techniques, some different things. And I take that back. It was Thursday that I did that, because Friday I was going to try some different softwares, and I downloaded Restream. And Restream, a free account, will let you go to multiple platforms, up to two platforms live and it works from their browser. So you can do it from your computer or from your phone. But I hated it, because it felt to me like it lagged. It felt to me like it cut me off. And I tried a second time and it wasn't any better. When you go back and listen to it now, it's okay. But I didn't get the traction that I got when I went live to Facebook. So I was like, maybe it's going to be better just to go live to the platform. And so since then, Saturday, I got up and my internet quit working. So that's awesome. I'm like, I'm going to do a presentation about live streaming and doing short video online on a Zoom call, and I have no internet. I spent all day trying to find a new apartment. Because that's what you do when your internet goes out, right? You just try to find a new apartment. And I ended up getting a hold of a technician that said, yes, we're going to come out. We're going to get it fixed. We'll get you done. So Sunday, I broke it. I mean, I moved a shelf and I broke the little plug that goes into the wall and shattered the little plug. So now I don't have any internet, and my husband's mad because I broke the TV. But I thought, I've got to come up with ways to keep doing this live stream. So I just kept doing the shorts. And today, just to give you another test, I put up, Facebook will do captions for you. YouTube will, right now, the YouTube, well, you can't do live on YouTube unless you have a certain number of followers. And I broke that number, so, but Canva, if any of you use Canva, you can upload a short video and it'll do captions. You have to download a compatible app in Canva, but your free Canva will let you do short videos with captions. So now my question is, what's your excuse? Why are you not doing video? Because every one of y'all can do video.
No,
And
you're
more
waiting
importantly,
for an answer, aren't you? You're that long pause. It's like,
I saw the panic. I'm just like, wait, are you talking to me? Brandy's eyes actually got bigger. No,
Yeah, what do I say? That's always the big question. What do I say? Sure, I can do it, but what do I say? Do I have anything of value to say? I don't think I have anything of value to say. And
yes, you do.
People, we have that in our heads all the time.
Okay, so let me ask you, when somebody asks you about your book, how did you come up with the idea for your book?
I say I write short stories.
How did you come up with that idea for that short story?
Right.
You could talk about short stories.
When you're at a writing event and you're talking to people and they ask you questions, take that question and say, people ask me sometimes, where do I get my ideas for my short stories? and tell them where you get your idea for short stories. You are not talking to they. You are talking to one person when you're doing your shorts, and just answer their question. So that's a really good thing for writers to do. That if you're trying to build a speaking career, it's a little bit different. You've got a little more platform to work with. But as a writer, and I'm speaking directly to Brandy because right now you're in my screen right there. So, but short stories, so, answer those questions. I bet you're wondering where I got the idea for this short story. Or I was walking the other day and I saw this, and this happen. Or y'all will not believe what I just saw. Did y'all know that snakes will tuck their tails in rocks and stand vertically in water like a piece of rebar?
I did not know that.
I didn't either. But see how that could be a start for a quick short. It doesn't have to be anything profound. It just has to be. I got on yesterday and y'all, I look like I had rolled out of bed. You know why? Because I had rolled out of bed and I had walked down here to do my morning stretches. And I did not even look at myself. I just went live. And my husband said, "Ooh, you got a lot of wispies," which is husband talk for, "Man, you look rough in that video." But I've quit worrying about it. And the moment you quit worrying about it, it frees you up to be you.
I just
And
want
that
to
is
interject for a minute because if you quit worrying about it and others see it, they're going to quit worrying about it.
exactly.
It
I
gives
mean,
permission for other people to be less than perfect.
mhm. And that's what happened in 2020 because you had all of these um, reporters and professionals that had had a crew all their life fixing their makeup, fixing their hair, fixing their backdrop, having to do it themselves. And it was chaos in the production world. And it was hilarious to watch. So once I saw that if, Dana Perino didn't have to look perfect to be on the camera, then we don't have to look perfect to be on the camera. And then you see all of these Hollywood stars, starlets, the females. That's the key because the men can get away with not wearing makeup. But the women, everybody always expected them to be camera ready, picture perfect. And that's what the paparazzi was trying to find them, not picture perfect. But 2020 allowed them to just get on Instagram and talk to you because it's just you and them. You know what I'm saying? It was just a casual and it freed us up. But for some reason, we think we have to be polished and professional. Now, if you are polished and professional, God love you, put your lipstick on and call it a day. Well, except David. Put your chapstick on. But if you are, if that is not who you are, quit trying to be that person. Your readers want to talk to you. That is who your readers are looking to connect with, is you. The number one thing everyone is looking for today is authenticity.
Yes.
And if you will, yep, exactly.
And Kathryn, I was just going to say, people are so tired, I think you would agree, on Facebook with everybody having their A game. It's not relatable, right?
Yep.
And the more authentic we are, the more views and the more reaction we have to what we've put out there, typically.
I am unnaturally happy. I am always looking for the silver lining. I am always trying to find the hope and the encouragement. And that's what I show you when you see me. You very rarely hear about, even when I talk about the tragedies in my life, I'm going to do it with humor. I'm going to do it with fun. And I had a new neighbor when we moved in, and he said, "I went to your website and I didn't believe any of it. Nobody can be as perky and happy as you are." And he said, "And then I saw you out walking." Because I would go out on my own. And I didn't know people watched me walk. But apparently a lot of people would watch me walk. And I guess I'm way more entertaining than I realized. And my husband said every few minutes I'd stop and go. So I was enjoying the journey and I was having a good time. And that's what you want to project is the person that you are, not the person they told you you should be. That's what's going to get, and we're not trying to get views. We're trying to get engagement. You want people engaged with your content. You want people engaged with you because that's how you create relationship. You mentioned it about the community. That's what this is all about. Without the community, without the connections, without the relationship, you're wasting your time. So, all of you currently have high quality filming equipment. Yep. Very good.
Phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I challenge you to, after we close, sometime today, go make your first live. Go make your first short. And answer this question. Today, I was challenged, or respond to this. Today, I was challenged to make my first short. What do you think? And if you don't know what to talk about, tell them you don't know what to talk about.
Does it mean we have to do it live?
You don't have to do it live, but you have to record it live.
Gotcha.
Don't overproduce it. Just talk to them. Just talk to a person. Talk to me. If you want to be, a little bit snarky.
Okay, let me ask a question. And I
Okay.
feel like I should know the answer, but just bear with me here. So going to the Facebook app, hitting live,
Mhm.
it's going to do that. It's going to go up to my Facebook page or profile. Which one? The profile.
You choose. You can choose. I mean, if you're in your page and you go live, it'll go in your
Okay.
page. If you're in your
In your
profile and you
profile,
go
it'll do
live.
that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, true. Okay. And then, but it's going to be there for how long? Or only,
Now, Facebook just changed their system. It is only up for 30 days. So
okay,
what I recommend is that you download it after
okay.
you go live, download it into your computer, and then you can repurpose it.
Then you've got it. Okay. Well, then that wasn't such a bad question after all, because I was just trying to figure out the whole logistics of all of this. Okay.
No, that was a really good question because they
Yeah.
just changed it.
Yeah.
It's only been like in the last week or two that they changed that.
All right. I like that you're talking about Facebook too, because I know it's not necessarily, it just seems like Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, they get all the attention. But as I've been kind of rethinking marketing and planning and social media and all that for me, I feel like Facebook is actually, and I don't post that often, but when I do, that's the one, it gets so much. So I'm really thinking that I need just to go back to that. And it's the one that's easiest for me to do too. It's just easy.
Yeah.
And so, this is actually, I'm intrigued by doing this. Now, I'm still not ready. I mean, you guys are so, you're young and cute. I am nearing 70. And I'm not that photogenic. I am very uptight about just going on without, like today I could go on because I've already gotten ready for a writer's chat. But that doesn't happen every day. So it's easy to say not to worry about it. I have a hard time not worrying about it. I'll just be honest.
The good thing about doing shorts from your phone is this is it. I mean, you're very limited in what people get to see. And the first one that I did, I knew if I didn't just go ahead and do it, I wouldn't do it. I'd put it off and I'd plan and I'd prepare. And so I'm sitting out, getting my vitamin D infusion with my husband. And I didn't even think about the fact that I had stripped down to my tank top. And I would never in the history of the world,
Yeah.
I don't even go to Walmart in tank tops. That's just, no, it's
Right.
not acceptable. And I went live and it was only after I went live and I went, oh, I was wearing a tank top.
Yeah.
And I didn't have on lipstick. I'm pretty sure I'm going to Southern Belle Hell because of that.
I loved that because of all
love
that,
that
though.
too.
It was
And I think
real.
and I think that's why I got so much, because I just said, this is it. This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm trying, and I sometimes you just got to be brave enough to try.
You do.
And that's what it is. You just be honest, just be raw. Johnny, you're so fun to be around, and you have such a wonderful musical laugh.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank
I
you.
mean, you need to share that instead of hiding it. I did you hear me say I went outside yesterday and I went live looking like I had rolled out of the bed
Yeah, I
so bad.
did. And I
I
admire
looked
that.
so bad. My husband commented.
You got really fantastic hair though, so
I had it put up because I keep it. I had put because it's long enough I can tie it in a bun, and when I tie it in the bun, it pulls it back really tight. And I had completely forgotten about that. I wasn't even. I was more concerned about my words than I was my look. And
that's
I
really
think the
good though.
moment you
Yeah.
do that, it changes the relationship that you have with the person
Yes.
on the other side of the camera.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I do like that. I am going to put in here really quick because I just got this email yesterday. So if you're wanting content, here's May is the national month for, and this is a couple things that are because we're writers. This is good for us. Get Caught Reading Month in May. So that would give you what are you reading? And you could do that all month long. And also, Brandy, it's Short Story Month. It's also Latino Book Month and National Share a Story Month. So very reading focused the month of May. So there you go. What are you reading? What can you share? What books can you share?
Yep. And I mean, that could be, you could have a question of the day. You could have a quote of the day from your book. You could have a subject of the day for your short story. One of my favorites, when I my first, not my first novel, my second novel, I've got to figure out which one. My second novel was based on a purse that we found that had floated up the creek. It floated up the creek. The creek had backed up and pushed the purse up the creek instead of down the creek. And I used that as a short story. And then I turned that short story into part of my novel. Um, those kind of stories intrigue your readers. They intrigue writers. Writers love to hear about where you got your ideas and how you navigated the reality and the fiction.
Mhm.
And always, always, always change the names to protect the author.
And I think sometimes, Kathryn, maybe you can comment about this. We often feel like we're the only one in a struggle. So if we're sharing that we're afraid of to do something or step out, or that we're struggling with something, I think that resonates with people on the internet, whoever our audience is, whoever we're trying to reach. Would you agree?
I definitely agree. And you just said something that's really important. You need to know who you're trying to speak to.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to just be on the internet, but if you're doing it to build your audience, you have to know where your audience is. Johnny, I just don't think your audience is big on TikTok. Now
Oh,
they
I don't
might,
even do TikTok at all. No.
yeah. So you don't need to be on TikTok.
No. No, I'm only on
And anybody that's telling you need to
Facebook.
be on TikTok doesn't understand your audience.
I'm not going to ever get on it just because I don't want to add another thing. And there's just, I mean, there's tons of reasons. Instagram
Yep.
and Facebook are the two that are best for me. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But
And
I
I
like
and I
it.
would agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was talking to a client yesterday, and he was meeting with a new marketing person, and they were talking about TikTok. And I said, you don't need to be on TikTok, because he's trying to get big investors for an event. I said, they don't watch TikTok. They
Yeah.
don't get on TikTok. I said, your market is on LinkedIn.
That's what,
I mean, I don't even have to know who your target. You just told me, you just listed all these people. I'm telling you, your target is on LinkedIn. And that's what you need to. I said, but you still need to be you.
Mhm.
Even on LinkedIn, you need to be you. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, even Twitter. I know some people don't like it, but I still enjoy Twitter. But those platforms are still your major platforms. YouTube is not a social media platform. It is still a search engine.
Mhm.
People go in there to learn stuff. So that would be a really good place to talk writer's craft if you wanted to.
Mhm.
And Brandy, you could even go in and say, you know, on writer's chat, we were talking about whatever. Um, the
Are you reading the comments?
yeah,
I know, I love that one.
when you put my name in it, I have to stop and figure out what. So complete aside and has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But when I was in college, I had a roommate that was from China and one that was from Japan. And when it was just the Chinese student and she was there, she would bring over friends and they would talk in Chinese. And I knew they were talking about me. I mean, because they had to be, right? Because I'm standing right there. I don't speak any Chinese. And I was not about to try to learn. But then the Japanese roommate moved in. And now they have to speak in English. So the key to having a good relationship with your roommates is make sure that either you all speak the same language or nobody speaks the same language. And that's what really, now that I'm going to bring this around, that's what you need for your short videos. By knowing who you're speaking to, you can speak their language. And really, your target market, your target reader, Johnny, you have to be a little creative because your target market is a little bit different. But I don't, now that I've said that, if you write something and somebody really gets connected to you and you develop a super fan, they're likely to read what you wrote.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have so many interesting stories about what you've learned to write what you write. So you can still be you and not affect the persona of your writing
Not the author
atmosphere.
Johnny.
Yeah, right. But because I have no doubt that you instill just your fun. You just have such a I can't every time you laugh, it makes me smile.
Oh,
It is just it's a musical
making
laugh.
my
And
day.
yeah, just lean into that. Lean into who you are. That's if you get nothing else out of that, lean into who you are. That is the best way to do your short videos. And I think of the attention span. They told me this last week that our attention spans are now down to 8 seconds.
Oh my
We
goodness.
have a shorter attention span than a goldfish.
That's sad.
So you need to get in, you need to be creative. And I did a video yesterday, no, day before yesterday, accidentally. I was trying to figure something out and I had to wait because I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera around. And because I did that, it's just a picture of the lake and the geese. It's not a picture of the geese. You can just hear the geese honking, and it's not getting a lot of traction. And I think that's why, is because people come in, they see that, and instead of seeing me, instead of seeing us, they turn it off because you scroll past it. You scroll past it. We're quick scrollers.
Yeah.
We're quick clickers.
Mhm.
Get in there, say something intriguing, say something interesting, ask a question, do something silly, and then do your video. And keep it short, quick, done, out. LinkedIn, I know YouTube is now allowing, I heard this weekend, 3-minute shorts. It was under 1 minute, but they said that they have moved it up to 3 minutes. I can tell you my 55, 59-second videos do not get a lot of traction. The shorter videos get more traction. People want it short, sweet, done, out. So I would recommend trying to get it in one thing. Just say one thing. So 15, 30, 45 seconds. You're done. That's all. That's all I'm talking. I'm not talking, a 5-minute skit. Just I'm at the red light and I wanted to tell y'all the person behind me is crazy.
When you are posting up like to Facebook, are you also adding text as a post? Like, so is it a video and a post, or is it just a video?
I in the lives to Facebook, I'm still new at playing with the lives to Facebook. I know that you can put like some information in there.
Okay.
Sometimes I go back and edit it if I forget to do it when I'm going live. In the apps, I can put that kind of information in. I can put a title up top.
Okay.
In Canva, when you do the shorts, you can put captions and whatnot. Facebook will put captions on there for you.
Okay.
Now,
I've noticed that
Facebook
some
also gets to
captions are not all
Yeah.
correct. And if that
right.
bothers you, you don't want incorrect captions on your videos. Just keep in mind that sometimes the words will not be captioned properly if you use that.
Yep. Even if you're using a captioning program, because when I do my podcast, it's a 20-minute podcast. So I go in and I do the captions and I check my captions. But I use Premiere, Adobe Premiere to do all my editing, long form editing. And I literally started playing with stuff for y'all because I don't want it to be complicated. I want it to be simple. I want something you can do and on the go and with ease. And for me, the easiest thing was just even for the Canva stuff, I just did it on my phone and
Do you know
uploaded
if
it
there's
into
a way to
Canva.
correct wrong captions if you use
In
a program
Facebook, uh,
on a video? I don't know, in Facebook or wherever. I just don't know if you
I
can
don't know.
correct the captions that are captioned wrong.
I can look and check. I know I can in Premiere. I can go in and edit all of my captions in Premiere. Yes, Norma.
Um, if you are on Instagram and you share a story or a reel, you can connect that automatically to Facebook. And when you do the captions, you can go back in and read what it says and take out or change it right there on before you hit send. So you can. I don't know about if you can do it on one caption that Facebook created for you. I would imagine you could just delete it and put your own, but I don't know.
I'm sorry. I was going to see. So I went and looked at my hair wasn't any better today. Just telling you ahead of time. No wonder the people that came by when I walked by, they were like, let's get off here before she talks to us. Crazy homeless person. But I mean, have fun with it. There have been a couple of times when I've started to delete it because I didn't like the way I looked. But it cannot be about the way I look. It has to be about the heart.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to express our heart and touch a heart.
Yeah.
And the perfect lighting doesn't do that.
Very true.
I know
Uh-oh.
last year when we were in Italy, Kyle challenged us every day to do a live story on Instagram and share it and we kind of got into the habit of doing it a little bit. And then I came home and, you have the jet lag and then I was sick and then just got out of the habit of doing it. And that's been on my mind quite a bit lately. So the timing of this episode is very apropos.
Yes, when you do Facebook Live, you can put a title into your a header into your video before you go live. There's several options. I did put that in there. I have not looked at the closed captioning to see what I said. But this was another one. I'm like this because I'm staring into the sun. But it's okay. I'm to the point, and going back to what we talked about, Johnny, before we went on the air. Once you let go of everything,
Hmm.
it's a whole lot easier not to worry about what they say.
Yeah.
And that changed everything for me. I don't have to conform. And too often, that's what's holding us back, is we're trying to conform to what someone else told us we should do.
Yeah.
And the reality is that we set the standards ourselves. So,
It-
if if we are trying to set an imaginary standard that we think somebody else has, then we're really only setting it for ourselves. So if we take that away, we choose our own standard that we set that other people will see.
Yep. Yep. In 2013, and I may have mentioned this when I was doing the Whiteboard of World Domination. I was doing a podcast, a 1 hour podcast live. I was doing it live. And I was getting traction. People were visiting. I was approached by 2 different radio stations, and they were carrying it on their radio stations. So I was syndicated. I was a syndicated talk show personality. And I let some guy come along and tell me that I was doing it wrong.
Mm.
And I tried to conform to his way of doing it, and I lost myself. I lost my enthusiasm. I got frustrated. It was a whole lot easier to give into the distractions and the squirrels because I didn't want to do it his way. I wanted to do it the way I was doing it. And it was that process that let me sell 21,000 copies of my first novel, doing it, being me. And then I let people tell me how I was supposed to sell books. I'm still mad at myself for that. And what's really sad is I didn't know that was an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they knew how many books I had. I know they didn't know how many books that I had sold because I didn't know how many books I had sold. I hadn't looked it up. And here they were telling me how to do something and they didn't even know where I was. And that's what happens is we get into somebody else's should and they don't even know our journey.
Mm-hmm. It's also the danger of the expert, and there are so many. And like I've subscribed to so much stuff, and I get all these people, a lot selling, but a lot of good information too. And about every year, it's like I just need to go through this, and you can't listen to every voice anyway. I mean, even when they're all good, you have to choose the ones. And I'm thinking I only need 2 or 3. That's it, no more than that for different aspects. But just, we just can't be chasing after every single one. There's so many good webinars out there. But how many of us then sign up for them and never get around to watching them, not even the replays because we're overloaded with them. It's just too much. So we really have to be paying attention. Like Kathryn said, making sure that if someone's giving you expert advice, that they really know what expert advice you need. Like she said, where you are, like they know you, but then also just be careful and don't feel like you have to chase after everybody. Find that one person or 2 or 3 people. And, like I've got like Thomas Umstattd Jr., a lot of us are big fans of his, and I'd stick with him because he covers such a wide range of things. But he doesn't cover writing craft. So then there's like, well, who am I going to listen to for writing craft? Well, Zena Dello, I love her. So, but you've got to just choose who are you going to do?
And even more importantly than that is you have to know you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before you start looking for your coach, your guru, your expert, your webinars, your conferences, know you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you will fall into the trap of conforming.
And spending a lot of money unnecessarily, perhaps,
Yep. Yeah. Or if nothing else, your time. And time is the only resource you cannot make more of.
Yeah.
Although it's illegal to make money, just for the record.
It is. But yeah, time you cannot get back whatsoever. So,
yeah.
And we could spend all of our time listening to really good stuff. Not that it's not good. It's good. But is it beneficial? And when does it become repetitious? And
when does it have a good return of investment for what we need in our lives and what God has called us to?
right.
Exactly. And you can't know what. Go ahead, Maura.
I'm saying God's called us to be doers, not just hearers, whether it's of the Bible or of teaching and training. At some point, we do have to step out in faith. And, right now I'm thinking the proverbial, I'm kind of pointing a finger at you guys, but I got 3 pointing back at me. So
I know that's why my son does it like that. He gets creative and he gets creative in how he points. But here's the thing. You can't know what God wants you to do if you don't know you. And you can't know you if you don't know God. It is that simple. You have to know God first. You have to be invested in knowing him so that you can know what he created you to do and to be and who to be. If I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times. You just can't be snarky on LinkedIn. And I was in a Twitter group that was discussing LinkedIn. Yes, they existed. And it was a LinkedIn Twitter chat. And this guy's an expert in LinkedIn. And he said, be you, even if you're snarky. And I went, I can be snarky on LinkedIn. And that changed my whole. I mean, now I'm just me. And people I've got a really good connections, a lot of really strong connections on LinkedIn because they know what to expect. They know that it's going to be funny. I think I am hilarious. My son has just moved in and he will correct me if you allow him to. He does not think I'm at all funny. He does, but he won't ever admit it. But I want to have fun. And even my mission statement, because I have a mission, a vision, and core values on my website. That helps me lock into, is this for me? It's really easy to, if you don't know you and you're not locked into you, it's easy to listen to that expert that's been in radio for 30 years tell you how you're supposed to do it. Because he knows better, right?
Yeah.
He knows better about him, but he does not know better about me. And it took a tornado kicking me out of my home and me letting go of everything. I mean, I let go of everything, all of my expectations to be able to get back to that person that I was in 2013. And what a shame it is that there was an entire decade wasted because some guy told me I was doing it wrong. So short video is not about doing it right. It's not about having the right equipment. It's not about doing it on the right platform. It's about knowing you and being you, showing up authentically to engage one-on-one with the person on the other side of the camera. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and keep it you. More than anything else, keep it you. And if you're struggling to know what that means, who you are, because you've gotten covered with so many expectations from others, from you, from your degree. That was my husband's big stumbling point, is his degree. His degree said he's supposed to do ABC. And he said, what about you? And I went, well, all I knew is that I was getting an education. I was going to learn something, and then I was going to get a job. He said, but what about your field? I went, oh, I didn't care about my field. I was always taught that the degree just showed that I was willing to commit 4 years to something. That's what I was taught a degree was for. And I have yet one time, I had one job working in my degree, but I've used my degree every day. So don't let your degree tell you who you're supposed to be. Don't let
what is your degree? That's what what is your degree?
Tourism and commercial recreation. I have a degree in leisure services.
Oh, fun.
But and then I came home to Gunnersville, which doesn't have anything like that. And the one place that I could have worked was the rec center, and my mom had offended the mayor, and there was just no way I was getting that job. My husband's like, go apply. You're perfect for this job. And I went, well, honey, I'll go apply, but they will not even interview me because the mayor is mad at my mama. That's what happens when you live in a small town. And that's why small towns are great fodder for conversations about book writing.
Yeah, that sounds like a great story.
Yeah.
The mayor was mad at my mama.
Yeah, the mayor may or may not have made an appearance in one of my novels. You cannot prove anything.
Changing names again, huh?
That's right.
Oh, goodness.
So, but yeah, if you have specific questions about live streaming or about video, if you want to do longer form video or about podcasting, I am all ears. If you want to ask your question here, if you want to, you message me, I'm open.
Now, does
I mean,
anyone
I'm
have
not open
questions?
today. I have 2 more meetings today, but you can message me and I'll get back to you later.
Does anyone
Kathryn,
have any questions?
we did have a question in
I
the
miss
chat.
it.
Kathy asked if you, when you're using your phone, are you using headset or microphone or just your phone?
I'm just using my phone. I'm trying to keep it stupid simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time we add a layer to it, we add an opportunity for excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did
And
that
that's why I
answer
do
your
my
question?
first draft with pencil and paper, because I've always got pencil and paper.
Well, and
Kathy,
again,
does
they're
that answer your
short.
question?
Yeah, they're so short. You don't, yeah, you want to keep it so short that it's not going to matter
Yeah, that
that much.
brings me up. Do you like draft out ahead of time what you do? You just go on the spot, like spontaneous.
Okay. A, that's not a fair question for most human beings. B, what I usually have is an idea, something that I've been mulling over or thinking about. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just start talking and hoping something happens. Um, kind of like I did with
Something will
this
happen if I just start
presentation.
talking. It might not be good.
And yeah, it really is. You could have a list, and if you're uncomfortable, um, I am, I am no longer afraid of a mic. I'm no longer afraid of talking. I've never really been afraid of talking. My dad says once I started talking at 2, I didn't shut up. But if you have an idea, it is easier to get your short over with. Otherwise, you fumble. And so I would go in at least with an idea, and you could map it
What
out.
say you to the person that tends to be long-winded and doesn't know how to be short?
Short.
Um,
I can get long-winded.
do reels. So do a short and then come back and do another short and then come back and do another short, and just build your story instead of doing all of it at once. Do one idea at a time. Do break it down into most. Here's the thing: 15 seconds, 30 seconds. You're looking at 80 words for a 30-second video, and that's without a whole lot of pausing. So it's you don't get a whole lot of words when you're doing short videos. And I would say do 1 or 2 sentences, or one thought per video. One thought per video, even if you're long-winded. One thought per video, and you're probably going to um, get if you're going to do lives, one thought per video. If you're going to record it, be long-winded. Take your breaks, and then drop it into a program. You've got stuff like Descript, which will go in and then take that long video and break it up into little shorts.
Hmm.
See, that's a good way to use AI, Brandy, without making you mad. AI will go in and it will read your script, and it will break it up into short videos for you.
Kathryn, we had another question. Leslie came in late, and so I thought in case anybody else came in late, this would be a good one. She was asking again, how long should you make these shorts if you're doing them live?
I would under a minute. You can go up to 3 minutes, but just keep in mind we discussed the goldfish uh, mentality. Keep it as short as possible, short, sweet, and out. You don't have to introduce yourself. If just say what you're going to say and be done.
Yeah.
Isabel, come on.
I
Come
know. It's like,
on. We're
Isabel,
so glad to see you.
we got all
Okay.
distracted by Isabel.
Yeah, sorry about that. We haven't seen her in a
Yes, and
while.
anybody can come on screen.
Yeah, come on screen if you want. There she
Yes, this
is.
Yeah, I'm committed to pray for Israel every Tuesday since October 7. That's why you haven't seen me for
Yes.
500 days
Oh
plus.
my goodness.
And today it finished earlier, and I thought, I've got 8 minutes or 10 minutes.
Well, we're so glad you're here.
Yes, it is so good to see you. We were
Oh,
talking about doing shorts on social media, just little under a minute or so. And those are real popular. So, but so good to see you. It's so good to see all of you. But Isabel, we haven't seen you in quite a while, like you said, since October, and it's just really good
It's good to
to see your sweet face.
thank
Yep.
you.
So, and just to kind of wrap this up a little bit, the key is not the software, the hardware. The key is your heart.
see.
And what people want to see in your shorts is you being willing to be authentically you, however that is. You know, if you are quirky and snarky and you're a snarky rainbow and a ball of encouragement, it's okay. And it's okay to be emotional, even if you are that person. Going back to, what we've talked about, putting your A game on social media, just be you. Even the A people aren't A all the time. If the paparazzi have taught us anything, it's that sometimes even, Scarlett Johansson looks rough. And if she can look rough and still get the paycheck she gets, we can look rough and still get the paycheck. It's the authenticity that people are looking for today. Be authentically you, be short, sweet, and to the point, and do it today.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
Love that.
that was great.
Any last questions for Kathryn?
I have a question. Do you think in our Writers Chat members Facebook page, a group rather, you could just write down what you use for resources when you do videos, just so we can all look at some of the technicalities,
Oh
have a
yeah, sure. I
resource
can
board
I
backup?
can drop some of those in, but I will tell you for my shorts, I am just using my phone. I'm going live to Facebook and doing my phone, but I will add some in. I liked Canva. I like being able to use the Canva, and a lot of people already use Canva. The Premiere is very technical. If you like technical stuff, Adobe Premiere is very technical, and you can get really creative with it. And you can do long form, short form, or whatever with that. If you're not comfortable being on camera now, you could always go in and do a voiceover on Canva and do images
Yeah.
instead of if about the area. Johnny, that would be a really good one for
Yeah, that would
you.
be a good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah.
You could do pictures of the area that you're writing about or the time period or anything like that. Um, and
Kathryn,
then
I've done mine sometimes from my porch. I'll just have my camera pointing out and I'll talk and say a Bible verse or whatever the
yep,
encouraging thing I want to do, but I've got the camera pointed out at the woods off my deck.
That's a
And I
great
get
idea.
really positive response from that view, for that view.
yep.
So you don't,
People
it
right
doesn't
now
always have
are
to be your face.
yeah. Well, people are responding to faces. They are responding to
Yeah.
people. That is really kind of the thing right now. This that authenticity. If you're authentic, if you're authentically you, um, and then for really technical stuff, and I'll put it in there, Brandy. I use OBS Studio for my long form recording. It's a free software, and for my podcast, I use something called Reaper, which is a studio level software, and it's a one-time fee, and it cost me a whopping $70.
I like one-time fees over subscriptions. That's good to know.
Me
Uh,
too. Me
Hopefully
too.
you're on AppSumo.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not on AppSumo, you need to be watching AppSumo. Right now, you can get Tiny Cow for a lifetime fee of some. I don't know. It's a lifetime fee. If you need a scheduling program,
So tell
um,
people what AppSumo itself is in case
okay,
others- yeah.
AppSumo is a discount
Mhm.
app place, and companies or developers who are creating apps or expanding their apps will go in there to get an infusion of cash, and you get really good deals. Sometimes it's a lifetime deal on apps, and uh, right now, like I said, Tiny Cow is the only one that I know by name. You just want to make sure it's there, it's been there, and it's got a following so that you don't give them your money and they leave.
Yeah, yeah. But AppSumo does, it seems to just it announces it's a one place to go to see what all is being discounted or is on sale or whatever. So that's good. All right. So Kathryn, again, thank you so much. This was really fun, and it's makes it sound just easy, and it can't
Mhm.
just be easy and doable. Right, right. Don't make a big deal about it. And again, May. It's a literary kind of month. So just check that out. There's also special days. Some of those days have to do with there's like a children's book day and just different things. So, what you just check it out. There's a national calendar day or something. If you just put in like national calendar in your internet search thing, you can come up with those that'll tell you what a month is and the special days and weeks in it. So that's a great way to start. At least you've got something to say. Next week, Bethany Jett is going to be with us. I am actually going to read her title. The Writer's Advantage, Genre, Strategy, and Story. So that is what she's going to be talking about. And so that'll be really fun to have her back with us again. Anything else before before we close? Okay, stick around for the after party. You all know to do that. And otherwise, we'll see you next week. If you're watching the replay, we do invite you to join us any Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. Go around the globe, find your time zone and join us like Isabel does from France, which is always a pleasure. Yeah, and join our Facebook group, check out our Facebook page and check out our YouTube channel, which has all these episodes on it. And I'm sure you're going to find something that you need to know because we've done a lot of episodes on a lot of topics. Until next week, everybody. Bye bye.